Get spoiled, see?
Do it again.
We did all right. Okay, how good you get everything? That means you just gotta keep practicing. Yeah, keep it up. Can't let it slide, That's the way it's about anything. See? The time that I feel most strange when I come to service is the time that I miss coming a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. Doing everything, it fits in. I don't feel strange about it. Yeah. Matter of fact, I feel strange when I don't come.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you're right. It's funny how that works, I mean, hey. Nevertheless, that's the way things go forward. We want to take this time to welcome all our listeners, those that's in Israel, those that's in Canada, those that's in the Philippines, those that's in India, and of course our brother in Lusaka, that is Matitiahu. God bless him and carry forth as he is going forth to give out the word concerning the branch of Jerusalem there. So enter into our house, cry our motto is, come one, come all, let us build our future upon the foundation of peace and love. Shalom, Ve'ahava. And upon these two principles, when we as a people, when we as a nation, see, when we as a whole congregation get together and do those things there, then are we ready for God's kingdom? See? Otherwise, we're out of it. We're not a part of God's kingdom. We are falling short, see? And other things are more important than that. Therefore, we get our priorities right, we will be in line with what he wants us to do. So I want to take this time here to say Hag Sameach, Shavuot extended. There are those who are continuing on because of the fact that once we enter the holy day, it just kind of goes on, flows on through, because the Shavuot was very special. So as we understand and see how things go, God makes exceptions. So we just thank all those that remember God's Moedim. Remember, Moedim means God's appointed time. Not the branches of Jerusalem appointed time. Then it's God's appointed time. And how much value you place on God's appointed time, his appointment. See, think about that. You say, well, appointments ain't that important. Yes, it is. Make a doctor's appointment and don't show up. You know they still charge you for that appointment? You know that, right? They can still charge you for that. And they'll tell you a little bit, say that you just can't wait till up to 5 minutes before they tell them, hey, I ain't coming and all that there. You got to give them a 24-hour notice. Now, what that's saying? That's saying that appointments are unimportant. Well, God's appointments is important to him. Okay? And so let us keep those things in mind. A lot of folks seem to get those things mixed up. They think it's the branch of Jerusalem appointed times and all those things there. But now, these pieces that we've been talking about, we'll tell you that, so we do have our own, and we'll let you know that too. Okay? So, let's start those that go forward here. All righty, we have, Israel update, which was given to us by Adam ben Israel. All right.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Came kind of quick for me to get up here.
Hey, forget about the, that you had the service already for this, so I'll almost get it.
I sit down and finish getting stuff together, time to get up. And I got it. With God's help, all things possible. U.S. warns of serious threat after Iran unveiled a new ballistic missile.
Yeah.
You know, ever since Trump got out of the nuclear program, pulled away from that, they've been, just doing as they please.
Yeah.
You know, when Biden, Obama was in office, and they, had this, program with Iran,
Right.
this peace plan,
Yeah, right.
with Iran, they was producing, but not as fast.
Mm-hmm.
But now they producing nuclear weapon and ballistic missiles.
They want full
Blast,
blast.
full blast. And this ballistic missile is range from 1,242 miles.
Mm.
And it's long enough to hit areas of Israel and be able to carry a warhead weighing 1 ton. So, and I don't know, what they're thinking. What Israel, U.S. and all the rest of them thinking. They're just letting them go ahead on and do what they want to do. Seem like it. But it's gonna come to the head one day.
Well, ain't too much, if you get out the peace plan, even though they wasn't abiding by properly, but it slowing them down.
Yeah.
I mean, but right now, when Trump did his thing, and then they just said, hey, thank you for letting us out of this here.
Yeah.
Now, we're gonna go full blast, while they had them central freeze and everything.
Then they did have somebody that they had to answer to.
Right.
And now they ain't got nobody to answer to. They was free to go.
But see, but they expected them to start a full-fledged war in a few days.
Yeah.
So
With who?
with Israel.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And y'all just letting them, they just getting the big head, let them go ahead and do what they can do, and Israel gonna take care of
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell them what Iran got though, since the years they've been, going at this, they won't be easy to whoop, I tell you that.
But the crazy thing about this is that, the nuclear, bombs that they got and all that
Mhm.
cannot be used
No,
against Israel.
no,
But they blow their top up.
Yeah, the very people that they say they kind of God, the Palestinians, hey, if they do that, they gone too.
They gonna do, yeah.
that's true.
What did the Bible say? Won't be no flesh left.
Yeah. So what
God can control it.
So what they're doing and they just want to be they want to be up with the big boys and make threats
Mhm.
Right.
that they know they can carry out. But they want to be able to say we got this and all that there, and they want to be able to say like really North Korea said, they, told the United States, hey, we can get you now, we can have you. Trump told him, hey, my button is big, he said, okay, but I got a button too.
But I hope they do tap on it. That just gonna move some stuff a little bit fast.
Yeah.
And our prime minister over there, he's been going crazy. You know, he passed the budget, you know, he passed his budget, but, you know, several hundred of the, you know, people right outside his home.
Yep.
You know, he passed the budget, but then he said, this judiciary system, now he can start back on it.
Yeah, he lied all the way.
Yeah, he lied. That's what they call him, a liar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lied, he got his budget passed, now he jumping back on the judiciary system. Says several hundred rally outside Netanyahu's home, claiming he's ruining U.S. Regulation, ruining, you know, the reputation that they got with the U.S. Netanyahu ruining that. That's what they're saying. So it says, demonstrators wave Israeli and U.S. flags while claiming that Netanyahu is distancing the country's top ally, and that's the U.S. So, you know, Washington has yet been invited to the White House, you know, for a visit. And Biden said, you know, the reason why is because he don't go along with that stuff he's doing. That kind of change the government, you know, to fit him.
Yeah, because what they don't understand is that the man is trying to stay out of jail.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I like to tell folks, you know, Netanyahu was doing all that because they got the goods on him, right? And stuff with and in Israel, it don't matter whether you are the president or in office or anything there. Once they convict you, you know, they can drag you out of there. So that's why he wants to change the judicial thing that say you can't do that as long as I'm president.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to say his own thing. Handwriting was on the wall.
Yeah. And also in Israel, an Israeli soldier killed a Palestinian and stabbed him to death. The man, a 28-year-old, was shot dead in Hebron, in the southern area of the West Bank on Friday.
Oh boy.
So every day, every night, there's something happening every day in the West Bank.
Yep.
It just went from out of whack. The Israeli military said the man attempted to stab a resident in the Tamid Omrim settlement and was shot by an armed civilian. So we're having all kinds of problems in the West Bank, as they've been having for years. But he says violence has surged in Israel-Palestinian conflict for more than a year, with frequent Israeli military raids and settler violence in the occupied West Bank. He says since January, 140 Palestinians have been killed, and at least 19 Israelis have been killed. And also, he says some foreigners also been killed.
Yeah.
All this in the West Bank. And in Turkey, Erdogan, you know, he's running for president again, and they say he's gonna win. They got a runoff on Sunday, and they, you know, expecting him to win. But you know, I think he got in office in 2014, I believe. But since he's been in office, he have tried to change the country, Turkey, because before he got in office, women didn't have to wear head covering. But when he got in office, he changed that, they gotta be covered, their head gotta be covered. But, and he tried to be on everybody's side. He tried to be with Russia. He tried to be with everybody, but, you know, and he ain't gonna go against Russia, you know, because that's his, you know, he really close to Russia than anybody else.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that grain deal that he got put over that there, you know, that, because, Ukraine had a bunch of grain stuff in it. And he taught Russia to, let them get it out there, because there were a lot of people that needed that grain and stuff, instead of him just looking and going all up and just let it go to rotten and stuff and all that. And so he, who let him do it himself, so you know he ain't gonna get food.
No, you know. Since Netanyahu passed destructive budget with lies and threats.
Yep.
You know. Okay.
One of the reasons Erdogan has a lever over Russia.
Mm-hmm.
They control the Turkey Strait.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the reason why Russia allowed that grain to go out, because Russia needs to be able to go through that strait.
Mm-hmm.
And Turkey has control of it.
Okay. But it says that Trump and Netanyahu is in the same league. With lies, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He said, when you see Netanyahu in action, you can understand why the protest leaders are suspicious of him and demand an immediate end to the talks to reach a compromise on the bid to weaken the judiciary system. So, you know, we were talking about, you know, his lies. He said, anyone who lies so easy and natural that the protest leader sees it shouldn't receive any breathing room. They should stay on it. You know that protesting in Israel, you know this is the 21st week?
Yep.
21st week. And the judiciary system is just one vote away from Israel becoming a dictatorship. It says, anti-overhaul protests in the 21st week, one vote away from becoming a dictatorship. Protest organizers said Saturday rallies will be held in Tel Aviv, Ashdod, Jerusalem, Haifa, and around 150 other locations around the country. The country, after Netanyahu himself admitted, we are facing a dictatorship. So that's what he wants Israel to be. He want to be in charge of everything, and everything he say goes. That's a dictator.
Yep.
So.
That's that right, though.
Yeah.
He gonna be a dictatorship. Yeah. And the other people to be people. God, whoever you want to use, you bring it about. All right.
Yep. And also, the debt limit.
Oh, yeah.
The debt limit is the total amount of money the U.S. government is authorized to borrow to meet its existing legal obligations. So the debt limit is for money that they already spent. Just like you got a credit card and you got a lot of money on your credit card, and you come time to pay it, you gotta pay it. You know, that's the way the United States is sitting right now, by paying their bills. You know, it says, up to 21 million Americans can lose their Medicaid. Up to 1 million older adults can lose food stamps. 2.1 million can lose Section 8. June the 12th, June 12 billion is supposed to go to military civilian retirement. June, 12 billion is supposed to go there. And 12 billion towards veterans benefits. And in June the 15th, another 4 billion needs to go to pay the military salaries. So the debt ceiling and the budget is two different things. The budget is when they negotiate on how much money they need for the next coming up.
Yeah, right.
But the debt ceiling is what they already spent. So, and then they wanna attach work requirements to the debt limit. You know, to pass the debt limit, they wanna stick in, people got to work so many hours to get food stamps, work so many hours to get Medicaid. They wanna attach that to that, and you don't have nothing to do with it. You know, they can split that money already. So, that's my update for the day. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
I tell you, the situation is going forth here, and Trump, who was he's already testing the waters and everything, and the judiciary and he told the judge, you know, that we got to be careful how they treat him, because hey, he's a candidate for president.
That's all it is.
See, and he's by him being a candidate for president, he's going to get special treatment, so say. Then that, yeah. The judge said no. Judge said no.
Just like a citizen.
Yeah. So then the judge then one of the judge turned around and told him, say, hey, look, now that you reminded me about that, let me remind you, you can't go out and run your mouth like you used to do about this case that we're talking about here. He said, here's something you can't talk about and everything.
Just like he did that woman, the woman won the $5 million lawsuit, then he went out running his mouth, then he's sticking another $10 million on it.
Yeah.
You didn't like that?
Huh?
You didn't like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she got to prove that he did it because he did out there over.
Yeah, he said he did. Yeah.
Oh, they got him on record. They got him on it bragging about it. So how you get out of that day? You know, I mean, you know, it's just like it'd be like a
President Brady.
it'd be like they had this girl was fighting some other girl on the bus, then had a friend spread it out on Facebook.
Yeah.
And she bragged like, boy, I'm hooked up so. I don't know why. This attorney said, hey, I ain't even got that.
Just play the tape.
Yeah.
Right.
This guy said, he said, I don't know what's wrong with these people. This is crazy now.
Nah, they should be happy.
He said, I ain't even got to do no investigation and everything. She got everything right there on the line.
That's it. Yeah. That's a closed case, real quick.
Make their
Just
job,
bragging about
Move on to the next
make their job real easy.
one.
it. Yeah.
If I can put everything on Facebook.
Yeah, boy, they do now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. They're gonna get you in trouble. And they did. So, let us, get in line, what's going on here, find out what's important. I think right now that, they really want to attack the, student loan. But I think, Biden is holding hard on that thing. You know, we don't want to change that, and I agree with Biden on that. If Trump can let these billionaires and all that have all that tax cuts that he let them get away with and everything there, and raise the debt ceiling way, yeah. Yeah. Why don't we let our students love? Why don't we let our people that's educated and that's coming on up and all that stuff that they're let them get off with that. It's terrible to extrapolate and have them step down paying all this money. Okay?
Yeah, especially when over the years they've already showed how many times these banks and everything just scam the students.
Yep.
I don't know how many cases they didn't had over the years where these schools didn't rape these people out of all their money.
Yeah, that's why they start cutting them out of the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
You know, what they do, they make money, they sell the loan to another,
Right.
you know, just make money on the student.
Yeah. They'll try to do that to you on these stores and everything. They file criminal stuff like that there, and they know they got a limitation of what they can do. So what they do is they'll sell it to some other. They'll sell you a case to somebody else and all that stuff there. And they see they can, and then add well. You might have bought an item for say $1,000. See, and try to negotiate that, but when they sell it to somebody else, and they say, you know, that you get a bill like it's $3,000.
I don't even understand how it's legal to sell somebody's debt. I didn't borrow from you. I borrowed from him.
It ain't. You didn't make an agreement with them people.
That's
They
what I'm
sold their
saying.
debt to. So
Yeah,
yeah.
hey, that's the way
That's the way the
is.
system is, though.
That's the way the system is. Wherein we look forward to a system for righteousness. And that's why I keep telling our young folks, I keep telling our people that, why are you trying to adapt to this world here and all that stuff? It's unfair. It's never gonna be in your favor.
You gotta be a crook almost to succeed.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. With the wrong color, I ain't got enough money.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for that there. We want to ask you to bow your heads for tonight, Baraka. Bless the Lord, our God, King of the universe, your given your Torah, the writing of the prophet, and written and decided by thy great spirit, and have commanded us to diligent teaching unto our children, unto our people, and all people of the earth. And let all Israel say, Amen. Because of the closeness of the time and everything here, on the Shavuot, and it being a holiday and so on, we don't have any Torah Parasha for this week here.
Oh, okay.
And so what we will go forth now will be Sherman bring forth here on the subject is Yah's covenant.
Okay.
And our scripture reading will be for this particular passage. The sermon here will be Jeremiah 34th chapter, starting at the first verse through the 21st verse. Our scripture reading for today will be taken from that same scripture that we just gave, which will be given by Shemash, David ben Israel. He come forth now and give us our scripture reading for today.
What was that first scripture?
Huh?
What was that first scripture, Jeremiah?
Jeremiah 34,
Okay.
1 through the 21st verse.
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay. Scripture reading will be taken from the book of Jeremiah, 34th chapter, starting at the 8th verse through the 11th verse. That's on page 606. Jeremiah 34, 8 through 11 verse. This word came to Jeremiah from Adonai after king to Zachariah, who had made a covenant with all the people in Jerusalem. He to exterminate them. Emancipate them. Everyone who had a male or female slave who was Hebrew was to let him go free. None was to keep as his slave a fellow Jew. All the leaders and all people listened who had entered into the covenant, wherein everyone was to free his male and female slaves, and not keep them in bondage any longer. Then they listened, and they let them go. Okay. But afterwards, they changed their mind. They made the male and female slaves whom they had freed return, and they brought them back into subjection as slaves. Now, y'all have special change their mind.
All right. A lot of times when we read in the scriptures and we read in those things there, and we draw conclusion and we draw things up about God's covenant, and we most people now only dwell on the sacrificial system and on it and this and all those things there, but the covenant that God made and all of that had a lot to do with a lot of other things too that people miss out on, you know. And so Mashiach, see, he came and he said that whole thing. When you read in the scriptures there, and when he said about the most important mitzvah of them all, we talk about that every Shabbat and all those things there. He covered that whole issue of things. And so this is what we got to understand about dealing with God. And read the story that he read the thing. You see, the God is very, I think it was Paul that said, don't get this mixed all up. You know, trying to choose which laws, which is the worst and all that. He said the same God that said, thou shalt not kill, you know, said, thou shalt not covet. The same one that said, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, see, is the one that said, thou shalt not commit adultery. When people take that thing like, boy, they think a man around, these people will not commit adultery. Oh, that's terrible, boy. I mean, that's the worst thing in the world. You ever see him go out and break the Sabbath? And no thought about it at all. Oh, yeah, you know, we all human. We can't keep that. I mean, we got all kind of excuses for it. But then about commit adultery. Woo, man. These are some of the things that we are kind of forcing that. And the God is concerned about one just as the other. See? And Paul tells us that. We're going to go right here to Leviticus 25. We're going to be in Leviticus 25. Mm-hmm. And, when you get there, it's start reading the first verse there.
Okay? Adonai spoke to Moshe on Mount Sinai. He said, tell the people of Israel, when you enter the land I am giving you, the land itself is to observe a Shabbat. First, about a month. Okay. 6 years you will sow your field. 6 years you will prune them, prune your grapevine, and gather their produce. But in the 7th year is to be a Shabbat of complete rest for the land, a Sabbath for Adonai. You will neither sow your fields nor prune your grapevine. You are not to harvest what grows by itself from the seed left by your previous harvest. And you are not to gather the grapes of your untended vine. It is to be a year of complete rest for the land. But what the land produces during the year of Shabbat will be food for all of you. You, your servants, your male, your employee, anyone living near you, your livestock, and the wild animals on your land. Everything the land produces may be used for food.
Now notice this. God was giving them a picture. God was showing them a picture of release. And a time for free gratis. You know, I remember talking to some guy and he said, hey, the water is free and all that. Why are we charging folks for this? And why are we talking about it? God gave it to us free and all those things. So during the land period and during those times, and then God said during the time of this Shemitah year, that 7th year, he says, you can't go out and harvest your crop that grows up, because some stuff, it'll come back the next year whether you plant it or not. It'll come back on its own and all that.
See that?
So, yeah. But what did he mean when he said you can't go out and harvest?
Somebody else can get it.
Huh?
Somebody else can get it.
No, that means you can't go out and gather it like you're gonna store it up.
Yeah, you cannot go out and get it up as for making money out of it and make a living out of it. You know, like you do, you make a big harvest and then you go sell out. You know, if you're a farmer, you gotta sell out because that's how you get your livelihood and all that. You can't do that. You can't use that for that. You go out and use it. You go out and eat. For your. But that is to be a free will time for the animals, for your neighbors, for you. Let the folks come in and have free will at it. We are also supposed to be concerned with our neighbors and stuff, to the point where another thing is gleaning.
Gather all of it.
Yeah, ain't supposed to gather all of it. Even in the time when you're doing it for your harvest, and when it's yours, you still supposed to leave some gleaning there, which you get in the story of root. The story of root and how that system works. And God had this system of caring about everybody. Yeah.
It's a strength.
That's it.
Someone probably coming through the home, you got something to eat.
And so, wife, in that middle year and everything, you can't go out there with your what you call line and run the birds and stuff, the squirrels and stuff.
Well, this is right here, wild animals,
Right.
wild animals too.
Yeah. And my wife, well, she got her hands out there feeding them now we got possums coming over there.
Oh, yeah.
We got families of squirrels coming over down there and get crows and I mean, you got them all coming over there now. She said, hey, what's coming on pizza time? Said, you want to have to move over. So God has a way of setting a covenant and making it for all things. See? And he told Israel, that's what I want you to do. And that's the way I want those things to happen. And that was to happen every 7 years. Of course, it made no sense to Israel, but nevertheless, of God's people. And so he had to chastise them and to get that over to them and let them know that, hey, I'm not playing about this thing here. All right, we don't start reading that 8th verse, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Matter of fact,
Yeah, please stop, right.
Right.
You know, to the 13th.
You are to count 7 Sabbaths a year, 7 times, 7 years, that is 49 years. Then on the 10th day of the 7th month, on Yom Kippur, you are to sound a blast on the shofar. You are to sound the shofar all through your land. And you are to consecrate the 5th year, proclaiming freedom throughout the land.
Say the 5th year?
Yeah, 50.
Yeah,
5th year.
Yeah, the 50th year,
Yeah.
proclaim freedom throughout the land to all its inhabitants. It will be a Yovel for you. You will return everyone to the land, his own, okay. And everyone is to return his family. That 50th year will be a Yovel for you. In that year, you are not to sow, harvest what grows by itself, or gather the grapes of untended vines, because it is a Yovel. It will be holy for you. Whatever the field produces will be food for all of you. In this year of Yovel, every one of you is to return to the land he owns.
All right, notice this. You see how God started off on certain things there, and then he multiplied those things there, and we just come off a time now where we had to count the 50 days. See, which brought us to Shavuot. See, which is the 50th day. But it's also, now we see that he said now, that 50th year, you're going to count these 7 years, you know, and then when you come to the 50th year, which is, we call it Jubilee, Yovel, everything is to be set free. Okay? Everything to be set free. God, in teaching us, giving us the lessons, giving us practice, giving us the thing, right, is a way to tune us, to get us in line, to get us to lead up to what he has in mind for us, that it might be something that we can deal with. See? And you have to go through the steps and all. And so that's how God is progressing us. That's how he's performing with us even today. We are being progressed up processed stuff, so we'll be ready to enjoy the first dominion. Because we didn't appreciate it the first time. We let Satan, get us kicked out.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's what he done. He got us kicked out. Yeah. What you say? You don't miss the well, the water runs.
Mhm.
You don't miss, yeah, you don't miss the water till the well runs dry, right? Yeah. So hey, now all it's to do, all the thing that we're going through now is trying to get back to what we messed up, what we lost out on. And God said, hey, I had a plan. See, you could have been well elevated above that and went on to war heights at my leisure time, at the time that I had. See, God was always a processing God. Yeah? Satan come along and say, God holding you back. He's holding you back. He got you locked down. You know? He don't want you to be like him, you know. Completely opposite of that. Matter of fact, that's when he made man was in his likeness. That's his form, right?
Mhm.
So we told, hey, God knows, the day that you do this and all that, your eyes gonna come open and you're gonna be like God. Why we should be excited and all glamour over there when God and all this? You see how the Satan do us? See? And then laugh about it when we get kicked out. Right? You see? And you can't make it back on your own. That right there lets you know you can't make it back on your own.
Making you in the image of another.
Yeah, right. Oh no, you gotta give me everything right now. I want it all right now. I want everything. I ain't got time to wait on this. I ain't got, hey, but we gotta learn how to have patience about things. Okay? And we got to take the things of God serious. I think that this is one of the biggest faults that we have, but we don't take it serious because it don't sound serious to us. Just like God said, let the land stay ready. They thought that God's not coming. People tell you that today. God ain't gonna destroy nobody over no day. Have you heard that? Have you heard that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they tell you, God, you just crazy, hey, they don't make no difference with God. He ain't gonna destroy all these people because of no day and everything. Okay. All right. Well, start reading at the 18th verse.
Brother, you are to keep my regulations and rulings and act accordingly. If you do, you will live securely in the land.
Now notice this. How much more clear can God make stuff? How more clear can he do this? How more clear can he do about his covenant and stuff? He said, I didn't tell you these things here for you just to have some knowledge. And sometimes I think that's what they feel like. Yeah, I know that and everything like that. Hey, but they ain't having no thought about what's going to be the ramifications. See, they think it's just going to be, they just think it's going to be something that you said. Okay, Lord, I know I heard that there, but no. When God tells us some stuff and those things there, it is for a reason for us to live by them, right? And don't he say that? What is it?
He said, brother, you are to keep my regulations and rulings and act accordingly. If you do, you will live securely in the land.
Yeah, all right.
The land will yield its produce.
All right.
You will eat until you have enough,
Okay.
and you will live there secure. If you ask, if we if you ask, if we aren't allowed to sow seed or harvest, what our land produces, what are we going to eat the 7th year?
Uh-huh.
Then I will order my blessing on you during the 6th year, so that the land brings forth enough produce for all these years.
Now notice this. Now guess what? Guess what? You know what God gave it to us to help us to eat, even in light that more. He gave the Shabbat to us. And what were we to do on the 6th day?
Preparation. Prepare.
Because you couldn't cook, you can't cook and do all those things on the 7th day, because you gotta have a rest. So he said, I'm gonna prepare, and you prepare everything on that 6th day.
Preparation.
See?
That's why he did the manna.
Exactly, and everything. See, that's good. Everything that God did, he showed. Not only did God tell us that, but he showed us in his actions.
He demonstrated it. Yes, he did.
Just like you had compassion on it yesterday and let us not hurt it. Prepare.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Preparation day.
Yeah, that's right. And that was it. See? And we had to do those things that, do those things that for that, because God taught us those things, and so we have to learn how to operate and take advantage of what he. And then he told them, and then God made a difference between the days. See? He said, now you go out there and you get double portion on that 6th day. And guess what? It's gonna stay up. You're gonna be able to save some of that. You try it on the 5th day and see what happens. Or try it on the 4th day and see what happens. That manna would fade away and rotten if you don't bake it into bread and everything there, it would rotten on you. See? But on the 7th day, on the Sabbath, he said, trust me, it would keep. It would keep. And this is how people say, that's why the person was asking me, how do we know what day the Sabbath is? And that God was really doing that. I was talking to one guy about it. They all the time throwing this out. Don't nobody really know. My grandma told me, don't nobody really know what day the Sabbath is and all that. Them Jews just took a guess at it and all that stuff there and all that stuff. And y'all want to do that and all that stuff. But really, to come down to it, don't nobody really know what day the Sabbath is, that God set up. I said, yes. I said, I do. I said, we do. God gave us a calendar.
Yes, he did.
We drew up a calendar from God's intention about it. God told him on the Sabbath, don't go out there in the field because there's going to be nothing out there.
The crazy part is they know every day of the week but the Sabbath.
Yeah, you're right. Then they jump on how, yeah. But you said, man made that calendar, man made that. I said, yeah. I said, let the first come back on that man-made calendar, and you don't receive that check. old folks had a different, different say for it. And what, you couldn't even get them to leave the house. They ain't even in the house.
And that mailman showed up.
That's right.
I remember them days.
You remember them days? They ain't going nowhere.
Mailman come past yet? Nope.
Let them think, let them say that nobody know what day Monday is, and don't go to work. On Monday.
Uh-huh,
Right.
uh-huh.
Nobody know what day Monday is.
You know, so I said, and let Friday come, but if you got, I told you, payday,
Yeah.
it's on Friday. If that check don't come, then, hey, that's right, hey, it's gonna be some HELL
Yeah.
going on. Okay? So, you know, I said, stop making fools of ourselves and all of that. God is a reasonable God, but he is a God that wants things the way he wants. And as he just said that, he said, not only hearing it, but if you will abide by and live by it, he said, then I will give you security.
Right.
That's a covenant. That's what a covenant of contract. That's what it's all about, dear folks. See? You told him that. He said, I don't care what you think about it. It's what I say about it. And that's the whole issue that we got to understand about how God deals with those things there. Now, then he gives you your part to do it. He says, during this particular time, you will have an opportunity to do certain things and all. Because God wanted the land of Israel, and he wanted those things to continue, and he wanted the 12 tribes of Israel to retain their area that they were given it to. So how to do those things there, you know, okay, you can sell and do those things the way you want to do it during the years all that. But in that 50th year, that stuff got to go back and revert back the way I set it up in the first place. What's that telling us there, folks? God all along, and all his covenants and all the things that he did and everything that God did on that, he was trying to persuade us and let us know how he is. And that how he, after all, he's the one that created him on the earth. He's the one that does those things. Now the world, they feel like they got control over the land. See? And they feel like they're the one that dictates all this and what to do this and who can do this and what. No. God said, I'm the one. And Israel, I'm going to let you be in line with me by 50th year, you have to have a jubilee. You have to have a Yobel, where everything resets back to original way that I had it. Therefore, this world is spiraling out of control now, and even scientists got enough sense to know that now. They said a typhoon. They had a typhoon here, Mawa, that's happening in the Pacific there now. It's a category 5, sustaining 200 miles an hour wind. And this is record breaking.
Who's in danger?
I think it's it just kind of bypass bomb.
Oh, okay.
It kind of bypass bomb and everything there, and it's headed maybe towards Taiwan.
Yeah.
It's
That season of the year for them.
Yeah, right. That's what
China's about to get flooded. Oh, y'all been tearing China up for the last 5 years.
But it's getting worse.
I know.
And that's the thing I'm saying. It's getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
It's written in the Apocrypha. Y'all have plans to tear China up. He specifically speaks to them in the Apocrypha. He said, "Oh, Asia."
all the nations got to learn this.
Yeah.
See, These nations that, that boast in themselves, right now, they boast in themselves, they talk all that stuff and all those things there. And guess what? Record-breaking things are hitting them.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
And you know the little underhanded stuff they was doing to Israel too.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, they definitely gonna get some payback. Don't think you're gonna be sliding, slipping.
People don't understand when that picture that he was given about the Yovel, they don't fully understand how that really works, like that. But let me tell you something. Even the scientists know now, unless this earth gets a reset, see, it's just gonna get worse and worse.
Yeah.
The waters are getting warmer, and with the waters getting warmer, and those things, the ice is melting, and all those things there, and that means that the tornadoes, the cyclones, the typhoons, and all that stuff is going to be more intensified.
Now you got more moisture in the air because you got all of the ice caps melting, which is going to change the jet streams.
Look what happened to California.
Mhm.
Look what happened to a little town north of Houston. Boy, they tore that place up, man.
Mhm.
Well, Houston been catching it.
Yeah, they say this is the year for the sea to be warm.
Yeah.
So it's gonna get worse.
I mean, they would get rain out in California.
Oh, yeah.
Till
Remember last year it was drought last year, right?
yeah.
All of their reservoirs is full
Yeah.
this year.
Even what's that? Colorado River, that river comes.
Yeah, right.
It's Maniafu.
Yeah.
That thing was almost dry. Yeah, and play.
But see, when those things happen, when you don't have God's security in those things there, it becomes you say, people say, well, it's a nice thing that we got this water replenished and everything else. But no, it done went further than that there. They had landslides, mudslides, and stuff, and people lost all kind of houses and all kind of stuff.
They were all crops that they had.
Yeah.
Flooded them out.
Yeah.
And they up in the mountains of California, they still got a lot of snow up there.
Yeah.
They still waiting for it to melt.
Mhm.
These things that God gave wisdom and all that was a picture, was a microcosm of what's going to take place in all those things here. We're facing these things, and God is the one that has control of it. Now they're finding out that, hey, ain't nothing you can do about doing this, try to get out the way.
That's it.
You had them folks down in Florida and all that. No, they told me, you better leave and get out of it. Nope, I'm gonna ride it out. No, I think I'm gonna stay there and ride it out. They went,
Right.
okay,
We ain't coming to get you.
okay, that's exactly what they told me. Say, hey, after a certain time, if you don't follow our instructions, don't call us. We ain't some of the people that did make it through that said they'd never do it again.
Mhm.
Now, wind and water,
Huh?
wind and water,
Yeah.
you can't stop both of them.
No.
Sure okay.
Florida's really finna catch
The
it.
wind gonna knock your windows out, and then the rain gonna rain all over you.
You got truck drivers don't even wanna haul in Florida now.
Yeah, folks. People think they don't need God. People think they don't have to care nothing about God and all that. Hey, but I'm gonna tell you something. You're gonna find out. The whole world is gonna find out. God is in the business of letting the whole world know who He is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He's determined to that.
He's determined
Mhm.
Yes.
that they're gonna all know.
Oh,
No, ain't gonna be no if and and or body. They gonna know who's the one that's in control. See? And ain't nothing you can do about it. See? But follow what He said. And the nations are not choosing to do that. See? Israel was to be an example See? For whole to understand how to know and what to do. And people are not taking that into consideration. They say, well, that's them old Jews and that's them all of that. But also there's a picture of how God is going to do the whole world. Pharaoh was a picture, see, of how God's going to do them that goes against his people.
Yeah.
See? And the nations that choose to do those things there, hey, and don't get in line, and don't, the whole world is in a quandary. And this world is out of sort now. And mankind is done ruined this earth. And unless it get reset back again, okay, we're gonna make it almost intolerable for men to live. And now they're talking about this nuclear wars. Putin is threatening about putting nuclear stuff there. Hey, ain't nobody gonna win. Iran boasting and talking about it and can't wait to get the nuclears up. Ain't nobody gonna win. This nuclear radiation stuff gets into the winds and all that stuff there. They ain't got to keep you by explosion.
No.
Putin, he did might do it because, they're trying to kill him.
Yeah.
They tried to kill him at one time and he wasn't there. They tried to kill him, so he
Oh.
couldn't do anything.
Trump said he could sell this thing in 24 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, so
He probably could. He won't have to sell somebody out though.
Yeah, just like he said over there in Israel that great deal in here, the big deal. Remember when he was president and all that?
So with the Abraham Accord.
Huh? And he said he gonna settle all of it with the Palestinians. He's gonna settle out and all that stuff there and everything there with the great deal. With the big deal that he had going there and for months he had to delay it and then he finally came out with it and they said, no, we don't want him to do it. See? He thought that he could trade land for this and all that, but he don't have control over the land. See? He said so what I'm saying is that people come over there, mankind come over with these ideas about things, see, going against what God has said and what God has established, and you ain't gonna win. See? Our young folks, I feel they go and they want to fight and get in trouble. And they say, well, why these bad things happen to me? Why? How are you doing towards God?
Yeah.
How are you doing about the thing that you've been raised up and taught and cared for? What are you doing about it? What are you doing about the covenant of God? You becoming grown don't give you the right to vacate and go away from God's covenant.
They feel like they can do what they want to do then.
But yet still they expect everything else to be nice. Everything else to work good in their favor. And who do they have to rely on when they get in trouble?
Mom and dad.
Usually mom and dad.
There you go.
Yeah. You don't want to listen.
Our grandpa and my grandma.
Right.
Yep.
And most of those is those that are trying to do right. That is living by God's thing, that are going for and doing those things there. And yet still they can't see that that's an advantage. Well, I wonder why so is in that situation there. You think I'm in that position, you think they're present in that position because they had this brilliant idea. No, it's because they made a right decision. Don't stray away from Yah. He said, keep my covenant. And if you take the covenant, I will aid your security. Okay? Yeah, folks, these things are for us to understand, and these things that I'm reading here today is covenants that God said for us to work among ourselves. This don't have nothing to do with God dealing with him. Now, what I mean by that is that it's just like the 10 Commandments that God gave me. 4 of them was directed to God. 6 of them was for us among ourselves. Right?
Right.
And yet still we don't like God's law. We don't like this one. We don't like our own self.
Amen.
See? That's the problem.
That's right.
And we think we listen to the wrong people. We think it's telling us the best thing for us. And we listen to the wrong folks. And that's the problem here. But we're going to see what goes on forth here. God told him the 50 year will be a time that everything get reset back. You get back to your original point. You get back to your things there. You get back to how I wanted things to are, and then stay alive with that. And I will bless you, and you will be a nation above nation. Not a nation living and piddling around, but you will be above them. You're going to be a highlight for them. The whole house of Israel was to be a priesthood to the world. But you can only do that if you are living by it.
Above.
Not knowing about it and not doing it.
Right. Right.
Get that?
That's right.
You're going to do a lot of stuff. Oh, well, we're going to see what's taking place here. Now, go to Jeremiah 34. For some reason, we come up with these ideas. Some reason we come up with these things here. I don't care whatever thing you set up. I don't care whatever it's on. There's going to be some people that don't like it, and some ain't going to like it. There's going to be some people that don't want to go along with it. And those things there. And so, this is our setup. This is the way that we do it. If you don't want to do it, then fine. See, that's well. I just got time. I got to do things the way I want it done, and because I'm important too. I don't have time to do this, and I don't have time to. Okay, then fine. That's what God is too. But I guarantee you, when the time comes, when trouble comes, and this head is weight and everything, that you'll be hollering God, and you'll be wondering, God, what you waiting on? How come you ain't working? Why ain't you doing these things? How well do we respond to God about his things that he said? See?
Ain't got time for it.
Ain't got time for it, right?
You busy doing something else. What you want to do. And don't take the interest in God.
That's it. Yet here, that little something happened to us, and all those things there. Whoa, you want God to come on the picture right now. See?
Pray for me too.
Oh yeah.
I'm too pray for me, God. When I get straight, I'm doing what I want to do. Not what I promise.
Yep.
Liars.
Yeah. Come. But that's gonna come to an end, dear
Sure
folks.
is.
You know? Grace and no fears, mercy and all that, it's gonna come to an end. Like I tell our children, and the Mashiach told the lady that was caught on adultery. What did he tell her? Go and sin no more. He said, I will extend grace to you. I will extend mercy to you.
And they want something worse to come to, they want you to pray hard for them. And they still going their own evil way.
Say that again.
I said, times when there's worse come from, they want you to pray hard for them, and they still gonna go their evil way.
instead of them learning a lesson, they're thinking there, they just want you to pray harder for them.
That's right. I want you to pray hard for me. Not a whole church pray for me. Woo, I'm important. And you ain't got time for God, I wasn't meant for him.
And they don't know that when the worst thing, more worst thing come up on you, it's gonna cost more.
Right.
See?
Mhm.
But I'm telling you something, they can get yourself out of situations where ain't nothing you can do.
But,
And I keep telling them that. I said, hey, look, if that problem keeps multiplying and getting worse and worse, it gets to the point where you can't do nothing if you really want to do it. You can't. Right? Ain't nothing you can do about it.
And the law, you know you can't do all they're gonna do is just bleed you right.
Oh man,
That's all they gonna do.
they're looking at you coming in, going, oh yeah, we got, oh yeah. I say this, and I talk this, and I say this to our children. I tell them because I know how you've been taught. I know what you were raised up at. Okay? Everybody don't have that advantage. Everybody don't get that. See? Don't let them mess up their treasure. Jeremiah 34:12.
Therefore, this word of Adonai came to Jeremiah from Adonai. Here is what Adonai, the God of Israel, said. When I brought your ancestors out of the land of Egypt, where they lived as slaves, I made this covenant with them. At the end of the 7th year, every one of you is to set free his brother, Hebrew, who has been sold to you and has served you 6 years. You are to let him go free from you. But your ancestors did not listen to me or pay any attention. Now you repented. You did what is right from my viewpoint. When each of you proclaimed freedom to his fellow, and you made a covenant before me in the house bearing my name.
Now, I want you to understand what God is saying here. God say, sometimes we think that we're the ones in charge of stuff and everything, and we have a right to do this and all that. Right? Hey, but God said, no, I don't want to make a covenant with you. I gave you the limitation of how long that you can keep on that way, how long you can treat your brother and those things there. Because you don't know, your turn might come, who you need that. See, sometimes we think that, hey, I'm always be on top, all those things there. But no, you never know. That's why we gotta be careful how we treat one another. You gotta be careful how we talk to one another. You gotta be careful how we.
It's true.
See? Because you never know who. So that's what God said. I made this covenant with them. You don't know when bad things are going to befall you or a situation that ain't going to crop out the way they're going to. And hey, this going to go for you too. See? God is looking at the whole picture thing. We just looking at the one strong one. Like, what's for me, what's for me. See? As long as things going on, and as long as they're doing it such a way I want it to go, and think, hey, that's the way it's going to be, and I want that. What happens when it ain't going to go the way you want it to go?
You don't have to change it. If you did it your way, you don't have to change doing nothing.
That's it.
Just keep going against God and do what you want to do. Because you get benefits.
But look at this here. Look what the prophet said he did. I think you start reading it. It's 17th verse there.
Okay, I stopped it. I'm at 16.
Okay. All right.
But then you changed your mind.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They changed it.
What my sister said. She said, they asked you for prayer, and then they change around and go back to it.
Yeah.
Amen.
No. This is talking about it would be good.
Mhm.
Yeah, but they changed their mind.
Yeah.
That's what I said for a little while.
Okay. All right. I got It sounds like that jail syndrome thing I was talking about.
And you always say that.
They hit the Pharaoh one.
Huh?
They hit the Pharaoh one.
Yeah,
I'm go free.
yeah,
Oh, no, we let him go free. Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna do that?
yeah, right, you're right. Go back get him. We can't be doing all this work. I say, oh, hey, you know, work out. Oh, no.
Just like that.
Why did I ever let them go?
That's right.
Why did I ever listen to them folks now? Why did I do it? Hey, I'm gonna go out and do that. Hey, I'm gonna go out and have me some fun. Going to church and doing all that ain't no fun.
You run drugs and killing yourself either.
There you go.
Going to jail is fun.
And doing drugs, killing yourself, they call fun.
Yes, they call that living, boy. No, you burn up yourself.
Killing yourself.
They broke all the time. They got no money.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
they gonna want you to take care of me.
Right.
Not so.
They get a check for it and it don't last 3 days. Huh? That's bad.
Then burn it up.
3 days it broke and it hasn't.
Drugs. Whatever.
Some of them only last a day because most of them got them, they done already spent it. All right. And I tell you something, drug man gonna get his money. Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
The drug man gonna get his money.
Gotta pay him. You gotta go back to it.
They have there at 12 o'clock at night, you know, when the switch is over and everything like that. The drug man right there in the room. And we think that's great, and all things on it. No, that's not really living. Read on.
But then you change your mind. You profane my name. When each of you took back his male and female slave, whom you had set free to live as they wished, and brought them back into subjection as your slaves. Therefore, here is what Adonai said. You did not heed me and proclaim freedom, each to his brother, and each to his neighbor. So now I proclaim you for a freedom, says Adonai, for sword, plague, and famine.
Oh,
I will make you an object of honor to all, horror to all the kings on earth.
did you hear that?
Mhm.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
The covenant that they broke,
Mhm.
see, was for them to treat one another. I never went on you again. Was to treat one another respectable and to do good for one another.
Mhm.
God had our interest in mind.
Mhm.
And he said, because of that, he said, I'm gonna make a decision now. I'm gonna lay you to the harbor. We was talking about that yesterday when they got up and said, hey, about the Mashiach. His blood be on us and had to add on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just couldn't leave it at that.
Yeah, right. And of God. Okay, you open your mouth. You once said this. See? Dear folks, when we start looking at these things, and no wonder they talk all about this old bondage and all this stuff. Hey, they looking at the thing wrong. I didn't know how good I had it at home till I got off and it was back there and everything had to hit it. And that's why I try to tell our young folks a lot, you don't know how good you got it at home. Especially if you got a home where the bill don't get, ain't getting cut off.
Go to the icebox and food is in there.
You're right.
You don't
Bed
need
is
to
warm,
take
you got
it.
clothes on your back.
Somebody gonna take care of everything and you just
You
go
get
there.
sick, you can't.
Enjoy the luxury.
Right.
Warm in the winter, cool in the summer.
Right. And we don't appreciate it. You know why? Because I don't like mama's rules. I don't like daddy's rules. Daddy too strict and all that. Hey, yeah, okay. It's just like I told folks,
You think you got it good?
you get out there,
Get out there on your own. You see,
out there on your own,
you wake up.
and if you're fortunate to get you a place to stay,
Yeah.
nowadays, you know, it used to be all you know, hey, if you're fortunate to get you a place to stay at now, hey, when you come in the house there, see, he's gonna echo on you. Then you gotta get some furniture. See? Some of us is high class, you know. I don't know.
Hey, just getting the utilities turned on is a booger.
You got it right.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
First and last month's rent.
They have a lot of money to move in.
Yeah. And then
They made that one.
the food. Go to the cupboard there and look at all that. What's here to eat?
Ramen.
Your boss gonna go back there because ain't nobody else there. What do you put in there?
There you go. There you go. What you put in there?
I didn't used to have to do it when I was at home. Yeah, but you ain't at home now.
No, you grown now, right?
Yes.
You grown now.
Yes.
I need some milk. I need some cereal. I need something.
That's when they become ramen specialists.
50 days to fix ramen noodles.
Or even what we said, black eyed peas.
And water.
We got a little taste of that there, near the Shabbat, you know, and we left home unprepared, you know. Grandma always tell me, grandma always tells us, stay with her there, and she always tell me, you go out, leave, and stuff like that, and you know, don't go out of town unprepared. Like something gonna break down or something gonna run, and you don't want to do like that. Ow!
I know that.
Yeah,
Bad luck on me.
right. Ain't no gonna happen to us. You know, I got the mechanic here. See, we had everything going.
Laying down.
Except for the money for the parts.
They got the money for it.
Yeah. We had a mechanic, then we had the driver, because the boy drink and get drunk and everything, that was me and everything. So we had all this, we had everything fixed out the way that we thought it was going to.
You thought it was gonna work out, right?
Man, we got over there, got stranded, told Shabbat, told my eyes that it's time because we got over there for them girls, see, and everything there. And we all the college started. Getting in the car going. And so I said, all right. So it's time for you to do your thing, man. Go see it. Oh, I got that. He got on that damn boy. Nothing. We couldn't get that thing. He couldn't get that thing going. Any other time we could have got it going. So this time couldn't get it going.
So he raised the hood in front of the girl?
Oh yeah. Hey, it's time to do something now. Hey, give up that embarrassment. Yeah, right.
That's paying off too.
That's what. Then they so we said, well, maybe what we're gonna do now is push the car over there. We push it out there. I'm the smallest one. So we push it a little taste there, you know, and then hey, it wouldn't kick over. you know, and, so we finally got our shooting, we found a way to guy down. And man, that guy pushed that car, had going 50 miles an hour,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, move it, look.
He pushed me 50 miles an hour, man, and that other still wouldn't do it.
Oh,
What was about that car?
Because it had a front pump, but it didn't have a rear pump. It had to have a rear pump for you to start up pushing it.
Oh.
Is that, and is that funny?
Yeah, but you could pull it down, if it was a rear pump, you could pull it down in low. And it would kick in.
Right.
Yeah.
In the boy, he gave it 50 miles an hour, and then they boy, they won't turn over, ain't going down the road, won't hit a lick there. That wasn't bad enough. Night done failed.
Yeah, spend the night.
Yeah, spend the night there.
In the car.
No, the girls. No, yeah,
Let it stay with y'all.
They trying to get out home.
They don't wanna stay with y'all.
we were left, that's how we away from her, so we go to Logan's house there, the dad's house and everything, and go, he had a little house over there, man. We sitting over there, boy, hungry, stomach growling there. Ain't got nothing to eat there.
I think we had about 35 cents one dollar.
Yeah! That's exactly right, yeah. I always go bust up, 35 cents.
Y'all can't even have the car.
I should go for cookies. That was not for $1 of gas, probably.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
At that time,
you can get
25
down
cents
with
a gallon.
Yeah.
the car, had plenty of gas in it, hey.
Oh, man.
I bet your grandmother's words was just ringing in your ears while your stomach was growling.
No, the sad thing was, they had some roasting there, they had got hard, you know, for the horses and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We tried to boil it.
What was it?
Corn on the car.
Yeah.
They had to sit on there, he had to sit there and then we, I think we raised his gun there, and he had sweet potatoes out there, and so we got sweet potatoes there, and we were so hungry, so we couldn't even wait till the sweet potatoes get cooked. We thought he knew nothing as a half done and everything.
Oh, no.
That's desperation.
I ain't heard what happened, how'd y'all get the car started? That's all.
Oh, we got it fixed the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We had to go out. Well,
Y'all
what happened
took
was
fast
that,
one.
yeah. What happened was that we had Otto's daddy. He had to take us into town to see if we could get that.
Not that much, it's still not.
To get a part for that there and everything. Yeah. But the bad part about it was that the town was like 15 miles away.
Yeah.
And it took us 4 hours. It took us 4 hours
No man's land?
to get there.
You didn't know where you were going?
No, he had a rod. Remember, he had a rod there
Yeah.
Something wrong with his car.
in
Lord.
that truck,
Yeah.
and he had to drive for a while, and then we started with running, warming, and night he had to cut it off
Let it go.
and let it cool for a little while and cool down.
Yeah.
Then we go for another couple miles, and he heat up again, then we shut it down.
We're better off with somebody to bicycle.
I'm telling you, if you don't learn to listen.
I'm prepared.
Yes,
Did your grandmother ask you how was your trip when you got back?
Oh, yeah, she was upset, because she was, you're right, because I used to come in, because I had to miss that day, going to school and everything, I was in school and everything, so she, what did I tell you? I said, Grandma, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I ain't never going nowhere like that again.
Unprepared.
And that's it, man. If I ain't around, I ain't going nowhere. You ain't get me to leave. I mean, that's it in.
But the guy that took you out of town, was he able to make it back in that truck?
It was Zeke, Ronnie's brother's car. And so, we finally made it back all stuff there, and got that over there. And the car started right up. But we done lost all that cash, that night, and stuff like 35 cents a good hour. See?
Where was the girls at?
My situation is pretty bad.
What happened to the girls?
You had to leave.
You ain't getting no money from the girls?
Come on now.
Right.
They didn't want to ask the girls to know.
Come on, man. Y'all could have went and got a biscuit or something.
You had to leave them.
No, see what happened was that the girls, they stayed a distance from that there.
Oh,
And
okay.
so we don't push the car down and all that there. We don't got way out there somewhere. And it's nothing. And like I said, the closest thing was his dad's house and everything there. And so we wanted to do that because we've been out there on the road somewhere. At least we got blessed that way there.
Well, you got pushed so many miles, didn't you? 6 miles an hour, you got pushed.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
On the way.
And, so we wait from the girls.
Away from them.
And we turned back to go back to it. Exactly. We don't brag on Miles, we don't brag on him. Oh yeah. He'll get it going, and he's
The one I was liking, she wrote me once or twice when I was in job school.
Oh, okay, all right.
Don't see it right, you know.
I thought I was gonna start there.
Yeah.
We say, well, we go down there and we go down there and sell some blood. We went down there and they stuck that needle in that one guy's finger.
You gonna be able to have a book and hungry. And you took the meat when you fell out.
Yeah, that blood thing don't work too good.
Especially when you ain't ate.
Yeah. I think one of my daughters tried that deal there.
We're
Yeah.
not calling no names.
You ain't calling no names, right? And found out that was,
God is good all the way, all the time.
yeah.
Even in our stupid.
Right, that's what I'm saying. God set up these things, set up the covenant for us today, and we still blow that there. You know? And it was for our good. And that's the same thing. Are we gonna learn from those things here? We're gonna get this wrapped up here for the day here. But God, in all His doing, in those things that even though He set those things here, but He still had a hope for Israel. Israel still had a hope. We'll go to Romans, the 11th chapter. Because read the first verse there. The deal I want you to get Hebrews 8.
Romans 11:1.
Yeah.
And in that case, I say, isn't it that God has reconstructed his,
What'd you say?
yes, dated, yes, his people, heaven forbid.
Repudiate.
Yeah.
Repudiated it, right. That's what it was. In
In
other words,
that
that's-
case, I say, is that God has repudiated his people.
I mean, he got rid of them.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, although he said that, hey, I'm gonna take you because you keep my covenant when I had it for y'all to do for one another, to be good to one another. He says, I did do those things there. I did set you up for those things there. Like he said, I got you up for the harm. I got you up for the famine. But does it mean that that's gonna be forever?
That's the way, man.
Cast away, okay. All right, that's right.
One of the things on the, what's ridiculous and rejected.
Rejected, there you go. Right. Okay.
Heaven forbid. For I myself am a son of Israel, from the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. God has not repudiated his people, whom he chose in advance. Or don't you know what the Torah says about Elijah? He pleaded with God against Israel. Adonai, they have killed your prophets and torn down your altar, and I am only one left. And now they want to kill me too. But what is God's answer to him? I have kept for myself 7,000 men whom have not, who have not kneeled down to Baal. It's the same way in the present age. There is a remnant chosen by grace. Now, if it is by grace, it is accordingly not based on legalistic works. If it were otherwise, grace would no longer be grace. What follows is that Israel has not attained the goal.
Attained.
Attained the goal for which she is striving. The one chosen have obtained it, but the rest have been made stone-like.
Blinded.
Yeah. Just as the Torah said.
All right. So, dear folks, what he's saying here, and the doing those things here, that God said, yeah, y'all messed up. You messed all up. He said, but I'm not gonna hold this forever, mission. You know, God forbid that I just cash you in and you be the, what saved us? He said, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yaakov.
Remember his promises.
It's
Yeah,
covenant.
see, I made it right.
It's covenant.
In his covenant.
Right.
He said, I made that, and I ain't gonna break it. They upheld what they did, and therefore I'm obligated to bring this about. See? Now, what is he gonna have to do to do those things there? Because you see that you done messed up terribly the covenant there. There you got Hebrews 8, starting the 6th verse.
But now, the work Yahshua has been given to do,
The work that Yahshua has been given us. And that's why I try to tell folks. People that get up and holler about all, and they make Yahshua out way more than what he is.
Mm-hmm.
And then that messes up the whole thing. See? They done made him God, and they done made him the Father, and they done made him this, and all that. He's not all of that. He's a servant. He had a work to do. And God didn't change that position about him. When he even wouldn't ask him about it, he said, no, you got to do this job. Why you got to do this job is because, hey, I'm obligated to keep my promise. I'm obligated to keep my covenant. I got to keep my part of the deal. And keeping my part of the deal gonna bring some hardship on you. But that's what the covenant is all about.
Mhm.
And that's why I tell folks, there are a lot of things you got to do that you don't like, you know. There's a lot of things that this old body don't like. See? But hey, I come on and do it because I keep covering what God has said. Because I know in the end, when somebody got to count on everything, yeah, it sure can't be the world. It sure can't be the world. We don't.
Now the work Yahshua has been given to do is far superior to theirs. Just as the covenant he mediates is better. For this covenant has been given as Torah on the basis of better promises.
What was it? It was done on better promises. See? God had a better promise. The promise that he gave to them and to set forth to them was from year to year. If you will do those things in the land, I will see to it that your land is more than one. But now the Mashiach come along and he eclipsed that promise, and he carried that promise even further than just year to year. Don't get me wrong now. It includes year to year, because if you don't do that, you ain't gonna make it anyway. But it's a period because it covers more than that. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit of what that is. Read on.
Indeed, if the first covenant had not given ground for fault finding, there would have been no need for a second one. For God does find fault with the people when he says.
Whoa, let's stop right there. Because I've heard ministers mess that thing up all the way around. He said that's why God gave us the second covenant. And he made a new covenant, right? Because that first covenant was all messed all up and all wrong. And what did it say? Yeah.
He did away with it.
Yeah.
He said they messed up, they did, so they turned to us, they never did it.
But they say that they ain't bound by that old covenant.
Yeah.
Because they say that was a bad covenant and all saying that.
But he made it better.
God didn't say it was bad.
It wasn't the covenant.
It wasn't the covenant.
Because they
You
broke
just
it.
have to read what Paul said in
broke
his
it.
prayer.
Yeah.
He said God found fault, and it was God's grace to give us a new covenant.
Right.
See, he didn't have to do that
But it was-
because the problem wasn't with his covenant. The problem was with the people.
Right.
Point blank says that. Read that again.
He said, for God does find fault with the people.
With the people, not the covenant. See?
But you made it better by putting it somewhere else.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
And that was in their mind and in their heart.
Yeah, and he gonna tell us. And that's what Shavuot's about. Shavuot is about the point that he did. He came down Mount Sinai, put that there on tables of stone, and the people was the reason why they broke the first act. And all that there. They was down there breaking the first commandment of the 10.
Right.
And Moshe couldn't handle it. See? It was the people that messed up.
Right.
We know what it says there.
See, the days are coming, says Adonai, when I will establish over the house of Israel and over the house of Yehudah a new covenant. It will not be like the covenant which I made with their fathers on the day when I took them by their hand and led them forth out of the land of Egypt, because they, for their part, did not remain faithful to my covenant.
Once again, he said, but he tells us what a fault is. You know, just like yesterday when we were doing that. The scriptures are very clear about where the problem is, and that people are still yet. They write books and books and books. I see books. I go on what's called there, and I see ministers after ministers and talking and got that thing wrong. That ain't wrong. And people just follow up, oh, yeah, oh. Let's say it right now again.
I know they be asking me, you know, so wrote a book. I said, ain't good for nothing. Ain't good for nothing. Ain't nothing but, pop, trouble for the pot. I tell you.
Read up to 12.
So for my part, stop concerning myself with them, says Adonai. For this is the covenant which I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says Adonai. I will put my Torah in their mind and write it on their heart. I will be their God, and they will be my people. None of them will teach his fellow citizen or his brother, saying, Know Adonai, for all will know me, from the least of them to the greatest.
All right. So God said, hey, okay, I'm gonna give him a better deal. I'm gonna give him a second chance. And I'm gonna improve on where I'm gonna put the same law, not some different ones. And that's what they teach. They tell you, oh no, God gave us, he gave us new laws. We ain't gotta go by them old laws. We ain't gotta go by those stuff that had us in bondage. What are you talking about? This covenant that we're talking about here was to get us out of bondage. God said you can't treat your Hebrew brothers and stuff like you would treat somebody for foreigner. God gave a limit to how long you could keep them in them enslaved and are workers for you. All levels for release for us to be good for us and for us to how to treat one another. That's the covenant. That was all in this. But what did he say will be the whole ramification for the whole? Go to Romans, the 11th chapter. And you there, you got Romans 11. All right, you got Romans 11. And read the 11th and 12th verse.
In that case, I say, isn't it that they have stumbled with the result that they have permitted fallen away. Heaven forbid, quite the contrary. It is by means of their stumbling that the deliverance has come to the Gentiles.
All right. Once again, that shows you where the Gentiles have a chance. And I think we read that yesterday, but Paul told them, don't go around boasting. Don't go around boasting and thinking you more than them. He said, because if God spared not the natural branches, he sure ain't going to take them from you. And you're a wild branch. But they don't let that stop you. Hey, we can wrap it out of here. God gonna do something special for you. We wrap this out here, and he gonna leave y'all terrible Jews down, you Israelites down. He gonna leave y'all down here to go through the
Face the Antichrist.
yeah, and this terrible tribulation time. But we gonna be wrapped out here. Yeah, you got that wrong. Here's what God said. Here's what God wrapped the whole thing up, and with whom he wrapped it up with. Start reading the 24th verse. Okay, the same chapter.
Thank you. Well, okay, 24. For if you were cut out of what is by nature a wild olive tree and grafted, contrary to nature, into a cultivated olive tree, how much more will these natural branches be grafted back into their own olive tree? For brothers, I want you to understand this truth, which God formerly concealed, but has now revealed, so that you won't imagine you know more than you actually do. It is that
Stone
Yes. To a degree, has come upon Israel until the Gentiles would enter in its fullness. And that it is in this way that all Israel will be saved, as the Torah says.
I asked folks, I said, well, tell me, you know, they be talking about Jerusalem, they talk about the New Jerusalem, they talk about all this. I said, have you ever seen any gate around Jerusalem? There was 12 gates to that city. 12, the 12 apostles was gonna be set on ruling those things down. But have you ever seen any gate that said Gentile there?
A Christian gate.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, those are the ones that are gonna be sneaking over the walls.
It don't exist.
No, it ain't that.
He done told you that Gentiles got to come in. And here's where the final thing's gonna wrap up right here. Read on there. Okay? 26.
Out of Zion
Out of Zion
will come the Redeemer.
will come the Redeemer. That's the Mashiach. That's the Mashiach. He has a job to do. That's God's plan. And ain't nothing you can do about it. That's his covenant. And what are you gonna do?
He will turn away ungodliness from your foes.
From who?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You see anything else there? And who is Yaakov?
Israel.
Israel.
And how many sons did he have?
12.
12 gates,
You're right.
Named the 12 gates.
12 gates.
So where is this other folks?
And imaginations.
See?
They the ones that's gonna be grabbing hold of us.
Read on.
And this will be my covenant with them when I take away their sin.
That's it. That wraps up for today. Yah's covenant. It hasn't changed. It's still the same. See? He gave us a better promise with it. In closing for today, Shavuot is a picture of that great jubilee. 50 has to go with 50 days, 50, and it has to go with. Then all Israel will have victory and be released from the bondage. But guess what that bondage is? The bondage of death.
Hallelujah.
The bondage of death. Only through the Mashiach, see, will we get that release. That's why he's a better problem. Okay? The problem with the dead and all of that could not release it from year to year, to release it from the other, from the being slaves and all those things there, and all how to teach all that, but only the Mashiach to release it from the bondage of death.
Hallelujah.
I think this is a better deal. I think that's a better deal.
Right.
And for Mashiach. This closes out our service for today. This is what I wanted to, and God's will, we will see you next Shabbat. And as our old fields, our songs in a strange land.
Yo, Jerusalem.
Let my right hand forget her cunning. When I remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem, above my chief joy. Psalm 137, verses 5 and 6. All right, shalom, shalom for now. I see